So I want you to picture two rooms in the same company, let's say on the same morning. So in the boardroom, the message is really simple. We're all in on AI. Now, two floors down, let's say in a stand-up daily scrum or something, somebody asks the only question that matters. Okay, so what does that mean for us by Friday? Nobody has a good answer. And that gap right there is the whole problem. Hi, I'm Lance Dacy with Big Agile. And here's why that question matters right now. The pressure to get AI has moved to the very top of the organization, no doubt. And when the pressure has no translation, we see it in product development all the time. It's not that it disappears, it just kind of rolls downhill into your teams. So this week, we're pulling up all the way up to the executive altitude. And then later, I've got a piece on why owning AI is really not the same as controlling it, and a quick field card on the pressure patterns that I think are showing up in the teams. I do a lot of work with the teams right now, and can kind of float across the organization, but the teams labor and toil in these things more so than I think executives realize. So let me show you what this kind of looks like on the ground. You know, a VP walks out of the leadership offsite. They're generally fired up, and the board wants AI everywhere and fast. We got to beat our competitors. So she sends the note, right? Every team has gotten some version of that saying, we need to be using AI more. Let's move. Now the team reads it 3 times and then they start guessing. You know, one engineer quietly starts piping customer data into a tool that nobody approved. Well, this will give me better insight into what's going on. You know, a product owner kind of pauses a release they had scheduled because she's honestly not sure if AI should change that plan now. She doesn't have a good enough data on that. And 2 people just kind of keep their heads down and wait for it all to blow over. Y'all know who you are. Now, that same email has 3 different reactions and 0 shared rules. Now, the team is not being lazy and they're not resisting. They're missing the one thing that the urgency of the executives forgot to include, and that's a translation. So the board handed down a goal. Nobody handed down how to act on it safely. And so most teams that look like they're kind of dragging their feet on AI, aren't scared of the technology per se. They're scared of getting blamed for, guessing wrong on something that the boss just called urgent, because then that same boss is going to call you and say, what are you thinking? And that to me is the leadership gap. And the data says it's about to get a lot more common. So what on earth are we going to do about that? And so I'd like to take a look at what's actually happening at the top. And this is my opinion and just based on my experience. But the big number that I keep looking at comes from Boston Consulting Group. And their AI radar study, they published it this past January. They surveyed more than 2,000 executives. That included 640 CEOs. And here's what they found. 72% of CEOs now say they are the main decision maker on AI at their company. That's double the share from just a year ago with that same data. So the person who used to kind of delegate this to the CIO is now holding the pen themselves. But the number I think that should really stop you is the next one, is that half of those CEOs out of the 640 believe their own job stability depends on getting AI right this year. Well, you would want to control it too, wouldn't you? So this isn't inside a side project for a team anymore. It's personal. It's like my name's on it. And by gosh, we're going to succeed at it. And that's, they're betting on speed. Now, around 90% of them expect AI agents to show real measurable returns this year. So you've got ownership at the top, personal stakes, and a fast clock. And that's a lot of energy pointed downhill. Y'all know what I'm saying? So the part that makes this honest instead of just scary is that same group, the Boston Consulting Group ran a follow-up. And the CEOs admitted something themselves. A majority of them said their own boards are pushing faster than the organization is actually ready for. And I don't know that that's really anything new. That happens all the time. So that means that people who own the AI are the ones telling us the pressure is outpacing the readiness, and they're in a position to do something about it, actually. And that's a gap. Ownership went up, control did not follow it. And a second study shows you exactly, I think, where that gap lands. Now, Grant Thornton surveyed nearly 1,000 senior leaders, really just here in the U.S. And this one is self-reported and U.S. only. So let's just treat it as signal, not gospel. That's why I don't want to reference it. But they found that 78% of leaders are not confident they could pass a basic AI governance check within 90 days, which I did a video on that a few months ago. They call it the proof gap. Plenty of AI activity, very little ability to explain it, measure it, or defend it. Now, you put those two studies side by side, and I think the story gets really clear. The top of the house has taken ownership and tied its own job to the results, whether they like it or not. The middle of the house can't yet prove what's actually working. We just talked about that last week. And then that's the squeeze, I think, that your teams on the bottom floor are feeling. High urgency from above, but no clear evidence from below. Now, owning a problem and controlling it are not the same skill. You can be fully accountable for AI and still have zero operating system for it. And that's what most companies, I think, are probably fighting with right now. So the question for you, whatever position you're at, isn't whether the pressure is real. It absolutely is real. Okay. The question is, what should you do with it before it reaches your team as raw anxiety? Because they already got enough to worry about. Okay, so that's what I'd like to talk about, really for the CEOs, the people who are owning the stuff, or maybe they've hired what I expect to see next, the chief AI officer, the CAIO. We'll see. But in your next leadership meeting, your job is not to pass the pressure down. Convert it. Don't let the stuff roll downhill like we normally know. You take a board level goal and you turn it into clear decision rights and safe to learn rules before it ever lands on the team. We do this all the time in product development, definition of done, acceptance criteria. Y'all need to do it as well. So let me show you what that translation actually looks like, maybe with one example. Say that the goal coming down from the top is the classic one. Use AI to move faster. Okay. Now that sentence is absolutely useless to a team other than causing anxiety. They can't act on it. They can't tell you if they succeeded. So they translate it. Now, what I'd rather you do is translate it. Start by turning the goal into one outcome that the team can actually see. Not use AI to move faster. Instead, reduce the time, let's say, from a customer request to a first working response. And name the number you're watching. So now it's observable. Now a team can aim at it and maybe win at it. So next, you draw a line that most leaders tend to skip over. You name what it's safe to experiment with freely and what needs a second set of eyes first. We call it provenance and governance. All right. So drafting an internal document with AI, go for it. No permission needed. Feeding real customer data into some tool you have no idea how it works, stop. That one needs to be reviewed first. And by who? Okay. I bet you can't name that one either. So that single distinction is what kills the quiet. scary guessing in your, the earlier story that we're talking about. So that single distinction is what we're looking for. So then you name who actually gets to say yes. Who can greenlight a small experiment without booking a meeting? All right. Who has to be consulted before anything else touches a customer? Can you name those people? So when decision rights are clear, people stop freezing and they start moving towards the goal and failing and learning. And that's all the things that we want them to do. And so the piece, that the piece that protects everything else is what we're looking for. You decide out loud how a miss gets surfaced. That's what we're looking for. So if AI, reporting AI failed a reporting experiment feels like confessing a crime. People who hide them and miss, that's what we call psychological safety. And that hidden misses are exactly how your proof gap gets worse. So you say it plainly. If something doesn't work, you bring it to the next review. We look at it. What did we learn? And we move on. No punishment for an honest, well-run experiment. And that's where leaders need to have a bigger say in what's going on. So that's the whole translation. A vague directive becomes an observable outcome, a clear, safe to try line, a named decision rights, and a safe way to report the misses. Okay, now that's hard to do. It's easy to say. But notice what just happened. You didn't slow the company down. You made it possible to actually move because the team finally knows the rules of the game instead of being paralyzed, scared, and frozen and just flying under the radar. So this week's premium email is going to go deeper on exactly this. It's a checklist that I built called Board to Team Alignment Checklist. I can't think of a better name for it right now. But it walks you from, one board level AI goal all the way down to the single number that your team reports back up. And it comes with a worked example, a fill-in template. And, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but basically, if you own an AI roadmap right now, that's the tool that I would put in your hands right now. Because the leaders who do this well this year won't be the ones who have the boldest AI vision. They're going to be the ones who turn that vision into rules that their teams can follow. And I'll keep saying that owning that is not the same as controlling it. In fact, I find CEOs, you got other things you got to do. It's very difficult for you to be in the weeds on those things. So grab whatever AI directive in your world is, the email, the offside slide, the message from the top, whatever your team is currently guessing about. Write all of that up at the top of a blank document and exactly as it came down. Then underneath it all, answer just one question. What is the single observable outcome this is really asking my team to produce? Not a vibe, not be more AI forward, a real outcome that you can point at and say, yes, that happened, or no, it didn't. And then bring that one sentence to your team and ask them if you got it right. And what you do is you watch what happens. The fog starts to lift. We typically say CEOs are really good at saying, drive fast in the fog. So start lifting the fog. The second goal becomes something they can actually see and aim at. And that's it. One directive, one observable outcome, one short team conversation. And we're going to talk about how to do that this week. Done means that your team can repeat that goal back to you in plain language. And if they can, you've already done more translating than most of the organization above you, if there is anything above you, if you're the CEO. Usually the board is anyway. So in closing, let's kind of wrap up with the topic phrase that I've been talking about. Owning AI is not the same as controlling it. The pressure from the top is real. I get it. I have empathy for it, and it's not going away anytime soon. I can assure you of that. But your job as a leader is to be the place where the pressure can get converted into something your team can safely act on and not hide from. So this week, our premium newsletter that goes out on Tuesday, if you're not subscribed to that, we'd love to see you there. It's the leadership case for ownership versus control and hands you a full alignment checklist. We're also going to be publishing some public content on our blog. You can find that there as well. And so if this was useful, do me one favor, forward it to the next executive who owns your AI roadmap. I believe they're probably going to be feeling this squeeze too. And as always, like, subscribe, and share with your team. I'm Lance Dacy. I'm passionate for helping all of us through this. Nobody has the right answer. Collective intelligence. None of us are smarter than all of us together. Let's get together and figure this thing out. I know we can do it. See you next time.